What's this, you fucking piece of shit? What's this?
I don't know if anyone really cares what I have to say about this, but over the last year, One Piece has so quickly become one of my favorite pieces of media out there. It's really funny to me how it became something that I kind of joked about and made fun of because of its extended runtime to something that I'm investing hours and hours into and I'm making a video on before I'm even really halfway through it. At the point of actually recording this part of the video, not the entire video, this part of the video, I'm probably about like 610 episodes in. I'm at the very end of Punk Hazard, and I've fallen in love with this show. I mean, it really lost my interest towards the end of Skypiea. I mean, that's part of the reason that this took so long. Like, the second they fell out of Skypiea, I just gave up on the show. Skypiea was so boring for me until the very end. And Nell was cool, Shocky guy, love him, awesome. But it lost my interest a little bit. I stopped watching for quite a few weeks, and I came back right in time for the show to get goddamn amazing, and just through Marineford and through Enies Lobby and through the Battle of the Best and I'm about to get into Dressrosa. I'm very excited for that. But it's such a good show. I mean, the characters I love. Luffy's funny. The characters, I'm taking them a lot more serious. People are freaking dying now. Rest in peace, Ace. I loved Ace. Y'all know what happened to him.
Yes! 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 No! No! No!
Without getting into the time skip this early in the video, just talking about that, like, just to start the show, for just Luffy to come out of the barrel and start the show the way he does in the old animation style, I loved it. Zoro, his introduction, like him fucking starving himself to death to make some point to Helmeppo was really hilarious. Not hilarious, but he was stupid. I think it clarified he was just like very, very strong, but kind of an idiot. Like, I thought at this point in the story he was probably stronger than Luffy. Didn't really understand him going with, but very honorable guy was the gist you were supposed to get from everything he was doing. Helmeppo, man, what is he?
Check it out.
And then the kid with the pink hair, who I'm just completely blanking on his name. Like, I never would have expected him to come back in the fucking role that he did and him not look like a child anymore. Garp was a huge surprise. I thought he was awesome. And like, all this is stuff I can get into more detail. I'll do plenty of episodes on this goddamn show. But I just want you to be aware of how much I didn't know about this show before going into it. I knew that Luffy had his stretchy powers. I knew Zoro had 3 swords. That's all I knew. And keep this in mind. When I watch animes, I absolutely do not watch the intros. I feel like way too much gets spoiled with every show. And like, I've had friends that fight me on this, but listen, because of that, I didn't know Usopp was going to join the team. That was really interesting, and it made this cool dynamic for me when I was watching the show. Like, I never knew who was going to join the team and who wasn't going to join the team because I didn't watch it. I had no idea Nico Robin was going to join the team. Like, Usopp, I kind of realized it halfway through, oh shit, he's the dude from the thing, he's going to be in the show. Like, I realized that. But Nico Robin, I never saw her before, and I never imagined she was going to join the team. Still, she's a little character-wise, I think she's a little awkward for the team, but I never would have expected her to join, and that was such a cool surprise for me, because by the time I got into the last time I had that happen to me was Frankie, and I didn't know him as a character. I just knew the name. I knew Frankie was going to be one of the characters, and he was the last one that I was genuinely surprised when I saw oh, that's who it is, because Frankie I just knew by the name. I just kind of the first time he showed up, and I was I think I know who that is. And that's what it turned into. But I got to get a surprise for half the team that I just never knew they were going to be part of the team. And kind of in that same vein, I very quickly learned that just about everybody in this show, if they don't join the crew or something, they're going to come back in some way, shape, or form. You're going to see them again. Buggy, he comes back a bunch of times, and I'm figuring out now he was on frickin' Gold Roger's ship, and they're giving lore to that. Just every villain, every character seems to come back eventually, even if they're not focused on at the moment. Arlong was awesome what they're doing, because I just finished Fishman Island, and so Hordy, and they're going over everything that happened with Arlong, and it's just I loved that. But I loved how they grew on Arlong, because he was just, at first, he was just this mean dick. He was just a fish guy who was an asshole. But then they turned it into all that hatred being like general, like racial, like hatred. Like, he's racist.
Who started racism? Yo, Max, I always wanted to know who started racism, man.
And I might be able to talk for hours about Fishman Island and Horny Jones and Vanderdecken and all the characters that we got introduced during that part of the story. But just everything with the Sun Pirates and the slavery that is so prevalent in this show, not just people, but also for fishmen and just giants and other races that you see in the show. It's just such a thing that, like, a weird thing I never expected them to touch on, and I'm doing a very bad job describing things. But I never expected that to be something they talk about in One Piece. I just thought it was stretchy guy, go and kill people, Zoro, let's do it. But I don't know, I'm really liking this show, and I didn't know what to expect, but I'm loving it. Last thing I'm going to talk about in this episode, because God knows I have to edit it. Like, I will do more. Just tell me what you want me to talk about, and I will talk about it. I love this show, and I'm trying to finish it very soon so I can do more episodes. But the last thing I want to go about is Impel Down. This was the coolest part of almost any show I've ever watched. To see Luffy find out about Ace and just the instant, like, I gotta get my brother out of there. Just the instant reaction he had, and just the fact that he didn't have his crew for all of it. He had to go through and get Bon Clay and Buggy and Mr. 3 and all these other people to try and help him. And eventually he, Sandman, what is his name? What Crocodile, one of like 6 people you think Luffy will never be friends with. He teams up with him and Jinbei and other people I can't think of off the top of my head that I didn't already name. And just he manages to escape this prison. My favorite person in the world now, Magellan, with the venom fruit or whatever it was. He was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever. I think about this every day.
And then the fact that later it gets basically confirmed that Magellan's poison is way more dangerous than anything Caesar Clown can make up is just awesome to me, because it's like, oh, that fruit, his power is stronger than science. And I think it's kind of bullshit that now Luffy has just a complete poison immunity because of Magellan. But I don't know. I think it's really cool that his poison was that bad that even Caesar Clown just looked like a baby and Luffy could just shrug it off. No idea when it's going to come out, but I'm now verbally committing to do a video about the Battle of the Best and Akainu and everything that happened right before and right after the time skip, because I feel like that's one of the best parts of the show that I've been at. Don't know when it's going to drop. Kind of depends how much you love this. But verbally, it's coming. I promise. Don't know when it's coming. I love this show.